On the Rosie Rose Podcast, I'm joined by Tessa-Marie Shillingford, a financial expert, life coach, and the author of The Five Pillars of Prosperity. With over 30 years in the financial world, she helped countless of people gain clarity around money, but her vision of prosperity reaches beyond finances. For Tessa-Marie, true abundance is built on the five pillars: spiritual, mental, physical, emotional, and financial. And when they're all in balance, life flows with purpose and fulfillment. In our conversation, we'll talk about her five pillars, how to bring them into everyday life, and practice manifestation. How aligning how aligning beliefs, energy, and action can transform dreams into reality. Tess Marie, welcome to the podcast. For those who may be meeting you for the first time, can you share a little about your journey? How did you go from working in finance to writing the five pillars of prosperity?
Oh, well, thank you for having me, Rosie. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. I worked in finance, as you just said, for over 30 years, in various areas. And my last big one was with TD Canada Trust. When I worked in finance, I observed others, especially families and sometimes single people. They're coming in, they're making the money, they're spending the money, they're using it, but they don't seem to be satisfied, or they'll be having some big savings today, then no savings tomorrow. And I started looking at them, and I was coaching while I was working at the bank for free. And then I wrote the first book, Controlling the Debt Monster, because debt was really heavy. So I started coaching on finance. And while coaching on finance, that is when I got the inspiration that finance is not always the cause. Sometimes finance is a symptom, and there are other four pillars beside finance that we should all embrace and incorporate into our daily life in order to have us live a fulfilled life. And that's how it started to develop.
Wow. So can you explain the five pillars and why they are so important?
Okay. The five pillars, none of them are more important than the other. They're all equal. They might have different weight on different people at different times. They're like the fingers of your hand. If one of our fingers is broken, you know the other four has to pick up the slack. You're unable to tie or to hold on to this glass over here. Although you think you could maybe do it with two fingers, but the chances are it's wobbly, a little jerk, and everything spills. That's exactly what happens with the five pillars. So they are emotional prosperity, mental prosperity, physical, spiritual, and financial. So emotional prosperity is not the first and it's not the biggest. It's just in there. They react because we react emotionally based on our five senses. If we smell something, we go, ooh. If we touch, we taste, we go, mm. If we hear, we go, if we see it, we touch, we hear, we smell, we taste, and we react. But we have to choose how to react at a certain time. Because sometimes if we react in a way that upsets somebody else, it can set a whole big ball rolling. So emotional prosperity is how you react to what you have seen, heard, smelled, taste, and touch. It affects us like that. And then people sometimes tie emotional and mental together. They're not the same. They're not even similar. Mental prosperity is being able to recall what you know and to apply it appropriately at the right time. So, for example, if mentally you learn something and now you're being tested, you cannot recall it, then you know you're mentally off. And then that's a test you would fail. If you had to do something at work and you couldn't fix it, a mechanic or you having to make a choice, um, dementia, Alzheimer's, is the mind not working. Stress brings that on. Then you look at physical prosperity. Physical prosperity is to able to have your body function, to do the things you desire it to do at any age, to move, to be able to stand up, to be able to walk. And then you look at spiritual prosperity. It's not a religion. It's not a dogma. It's not anything to do with any controlled religion. It is something to do with how you begin by seeing you, and then the way you see you, you're going to reflect it onto others, how you see them, and then it reflects back to you. So is that you have to see others as okay because you're okay. You're able to do what you desire to do. You're not judging, you're not forming opinion, and you're not criticizing. And all you do and you're responsible for is when you're doing, you do your best and believe in what you're doing. Financial prosperity. Now, we are working for an income. And at the end of a certain time of our life, we want to look back and see what we have attained. Were we a good steward of the finances we got? Did we take care of the money or did we squander it? So many times when I meet somebody, it's because their finances are broken and they believe it's the finances that's causing them mental stress, making wrong emotional decisions, being sick and cannot work is because they have no money, and spiritually money, some of them will tell me that money is evil. I don't want much money. I just want enough. Because if you have money, you don't go to heaven. All these type of things. But there is poor finance taking the blow. When finance many times is not the cause of our problem, it is a symptom of another problem. Any one of the pillars can be a cause, and it can also be a symptom because they lean on each other.
Wow. So it could be a symptoms of one of the five pillars.
Yes, you
Yeah.
might come because you have a symptom and you will blame a pillar, right? My boss is on my back emotionally. I have to have performance appraisal and counseling every week and emotionally draining me. But mental was your problem because you weren't able to function at the level you're paid to function. You cannot do the work. You're not suited for the work. You do not know how to do it. So no, that's why they have you in there and it's affecting you emotionally. And you take that emotion and you go home with it and you're angry at the children. You're angry at the driver next to you. You're angry at somebody in the supermarket. The anger is just growing. But it's because you failed at work or you failed at an exam. Something mentally, it could be physically, you cannot move. So physical is the cause. And then the symptom could be finance because you're not working.
Mm.
The symptom could be you jam your knee somewhere. That is what caused it. That's the cause. And now you're angry. So it causes your emotion is out of whack. You're fighting with people. But it's not your emotion, it's the symptom of the frustration that when your knee hurts, you bang your knee, something like that. That's how it is.
Yeah. And do you notice that which of the five pillars that people struggle with the most that you see?
Everybody nobody really looks at emotion. People don't see any other, when they hear the word prosperity, they think only of finance. But prosperity means anything you have a lot of. So people there are few, as we're getting into more mindfulness, that will say, no, Tessa-Marie, my emotion is just, I am so emotionally out of balance. I hate my job. I do this, I do that. And I just snap at my husband. So they are aware emotionally they're not balanced. So when you're talking to them about their emotion, why are you, well, I really I like going to church. I'm a Christian, but then I saw this guy that I like and I'm married. You see what I mean? So the emotion is what, but emotion is not the problem in this case. They believe they're Christian and they shouldn't have look at somebody else in a lover's way, or they shouldn't buy expensive things when there are people starving in the world. So they have a conflict between their religion and what they want in their life. You see what? So that's what happens. You have to pinpoint when they come to talk with me. I have to really listen, but I do not listen with my ear. I listen to their words. So when people speak with me, I hear what they're saying, but I feel and I observe their emotion. I observe their body language. I observe the words. The words are the most telling signs of where that person is.
Mm. That just made me think about how this monk was talking about how like your super consciousness like is like the sun, and there's like a layer. A layer is your mind, and if your mind is cloud and dirty, you can't the sun can't shine through into your tuition. Like you can't hear what's in here if you're still have the emotional mess or clutter or problems up here. So the
Okay.
sun can't go through if this part is cluttered.
Cluttered, cloudy, mucky. So, like somebody said to me the other day, Tessa-Marie, I feel I cannot do anything right. I'm not good at anything. No, that is a powerful negative, body crushing, mind crushing, emotional crushing, everything crushing. That person is completely blocked. So it's like you said, I have to go and blow away the clouds, the mess in their mind, help them through this and say, okay, let us look at this, to find that one thing they're good at and to bring that up and show them. It could be the person is a great cook, a great chef, they're a great gardener, they're a great school teacher. They don't realize how people cling to them, how people see them. All they see is all the other things they're not good at, and they forget the small things. But everything starts with a seed. So if you find that one little seed that they have in them that you can pull and help them to nurture it, eventually everything grows from that.
Ooh. And now let's go into manifestation, right?
That's right.
How does that correlate with the seed?
So you have this little seed. The seed is an inspiration, a thought. Like we both met on a journey where we wanted to do what we're doing today. It was just a thought. We had no idea how to go about doing this. We had absolutely no understanding. We just didn't know. So instead of taking the seed and putting it in a little bag and drop it in the freezer and say to the seed, when we figure it out, we will come back to get you. And then we will be able to do what we need to do with you. We didn't do that. We took the seed and we kept it tight, but we opened it and we said, okay, let's do this. So I have a seed, you have a seed, and we don't know what to do with either of them. What we did, we took our two seeds, we put them side by side, and we started encouraging and supporting each other. When we were stuck, we would say, Rosie, what to do? Rosie said, I'm going to do that, but I'm really afraid. I'm saying, I am afraid too. But together, we did a lot of lives together. We talked to other people. We were a big mess, but we didn't stop. We had paper flying all over. We were crying. We just so much wanted our seed to grow. but we never stopped giving it a little water. Once a week, we went and we gave it some water. We put it out in the sun. We threw a little bit of fertilizer over it. We played with it. We nurtured it. And one day, the seed started to send a little bud out of the ground. And that was when somebody said, I saw your guys' podcast. You were so good with on Instagram. You guys, it was so nice. That was the encouraging seed. So once we got that, we kept going. That didn't mean that we did not fall again. That didn't mean that we weren't weak again. That didn't mean that there was too much sun on our little seed and it was burning. That didn't mean there was too much water and it was drowning. But what we do, we picked it up, we dried it up, or gave it a little water, and we kept going. So that's what we have to do. So the manifestation is not boom, good morning, I'm going to manifest the life of my dreams. It's the journey that matters to that manifestation. Is the destination does not matter as much as the journey. Without the journey to get to the manifestation or the destination of what you desire in your life, you're not going to get it. You have to go through the journey. You must take your time to taste the journey the taste of the journey through life to get to the destination. If you cannot taste the journey, you will not get to the destination, because you don't go from 0 to 10,000 in 1 second. You have to do 100 yards, and you can see when you turn on the headlights of your car. You must go to that first 100 to get to the second 100. And that's how manifestation works. You cannot leave the idea unattended. You cannot hide it. You're not supposed to stifle it. You're supposed to take it out there and let it get some things to help it grow.
And I love the analogy of you using the seed, because also when the seed is in dirt and in darkness, it breaks through in the dark, right? And that's when, for me is an example of, going through the internal and emotional of, um, of, growing pains, because in growing, there's pain that comes up. But in that darkness, you sprout, little sprouts, roots that grows in the dirt, in the dark, and then it becomes a sprouting in the sun, or like a sprout in the sun. So you grow in the darkness too. And this is some people don't talk about that, but it's, doing the work within yourself, overcoming that, and asking for help.
Yeah. Never be afraid to ask. Leonard Cohen has a song called The Anthem. And it says, it's only when it's broken you can see the light. If it's just there, it's not broken, you cannot see. It has to break for you to see. But some people do not believe. If the earth does not break open for the sun to come through, that plant will not grow. So it broke. So in a relationship, when it cracks, is when the light comes through. So it's a really nice song. It's called The Anthem by Leonard Cohen. And it has to break for you to see the other side. So the seed needs light. You plant it, you cover it, but the nurturing, the talking, the sunshine, causes the earth to separate. If a plant is growing in a clay pot and it is really growing, when it starts to grow, the pot sometimes split open. The force of the root of the energy for that plant to go, it has to crack. The pot cracks. And what do? You have to take it and put it in a bigger pot so it can really expand. But when you started, that pot was good enough. It's the same thing like when I talk about starting my financial journey. We started with $1.75. Most people, 85% of the people I tell that story to, dismisses that $1.75. To them, that's nothing. But that was my seed. Because from there, it went to $1.87 and it went to $1.97 and it just kept going up. But if I hadn't started with that $1.75, there would be no finances, would there? There would be no growth.
Yeah.
So manifestation, it has to start with what you got. This inspiration. Do not dismiss it. Nurture it. Feed it. Pay attention to it. Be consistently working on it. And there comes a time when you want to manifest something and it's not coming to you, it's not moving, you have to turn to what you're manifesting and say, what do you want me to do to enable you to manifest in my life?
Mm.
Sometimes you have to talk to what you desire and say, what am I lacking? What should I do? And wait for an answer. But that doesn't mean you stop working on it. You go back the next day and you do your best. And you keep doing your best. And maybe the second, third, maybe a year later, it tells you, I want you to do this. I want you to make a podcast with Rosie. I want you to do something shows up. And you have to remember, you asked, what do you need? And it's going to tell you one day. So you again have to be in the moment. You cannot be thinking of yesterday if you're working on something today. You cannot be thinking of tomorrow if you're working on something right now. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Nobody knows what's happening. The only thing we know is now. So if you're working on something and you ask, what do you need or what should I do now? Then you have to do what you must do every day, religiously, without stopping. You cannot not go on. You cannot give up because sometimes you're so close to it. And just when you give up, if you had just pushed a little harder, a door would open.
Oof. Yeah, and it reminds me of like sometimes because you have to be in the present moment. And to me, that's where all the guidance and intuition speaks through you if you're a clear channel. That's why for me, meditation is a must because there are times when I'm thinking about the past, nothing can go through me because I'm
Oh,
so have like for me, meditation and clearing out what's in the mind, that's when, the universe, God, source, whoever can speak through you. And when the energy of when they speak through you, I don't know as they or just the source, when they speak through you, you feel the spark of inspiration. You feel
yes,
the
you
spark
get
of
inspiration.
energy
Yeah.
and you follow that energy and do the best you can at that moment with what you got and
Mhm.
have no expectation of what the outcome is.
Show
And
up.
yeah, yeah. And why is it so important? I got Tessa's goal setting book here that I did her class a while ago, but why is writing down what you want or the manifest like what you want to achieve important in this manifestation role?
Because if you look at yours, I have mine over there, it's too far to get. But when I look at one of mine, how I started writing about what I desire, because again, it's our words. I do not say what I want, because the moment you keep saying what you want, you're saying you don't have it yet. So when you say what I
I
desire alone is full of good and healthy emotion. So when you say you write what you desire down, you put it down. The next time you're writing about it, you will notice you're writing differently about it. You're being more clear. A person might start, Tessa-Marie, I want to use, that's what they start. I want to lose 20 pounds. And I'll say, well, do you desire to get 20 pounds lighter? Yeah. Well, write it like that. I desire to weigh 20 pounds lighter by December 2026. And so now you have it clearer. But when you first started, you said, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds. I don't know. And you keep writing, and that's all you're doing. But when you write it and then you start to think about it, your words will change. I desire to be 20 pounds lighter. And then you'll say, well, what can I do? And then you'll have to say to yourself, I need to eat less, eat early in the evening, do not eat late. You see what I mean? You have to do things. So that is what goal setting does. Once you start writing the goals down, the goals will tell you what you have to do. But like you said, you must work on it every day. Another thing, the most important thing you can do in your life is to take time to connect to self through meditation. I meditate for 35 minutes every morning. 35 minutes works for me. Another person, it might be 10, but it must be 7 days a week. Maybe if you're on vacation, you can skip it. But if you get a chance to sit under a coconut tree while you're on vacation and meditate for 10 minutes, that I am here. I made it here. I am in the moment. I can feel the warm breeze coursing through my body, my hair. I can feel the sun kissing my face. I can feel smell the aroma of all this intoxicating flora from this tropical paradise. You're meditating in the moment. So, but people think that when you go to meditate, that your mind just stays like that. No, it can't. Even when they send the rocket to the moon, they have to bring it back. Course correct, stay on course. And that is what meditation is all about. When you sit and you have your mantra or your om or whatever, and you're meditating and you're feeling your heartbeat, and there's a time you can just sink. You feel like you have dropped into something else. And that might be for 10 seconds maximum. And then your mind goes on something. The children, did I pack their lunch last night? And you have to pull it back. Okay, back to this, back to source. But that is meditation. But it's the practice of meditation that gives you clarity when you stand up. And as you go through the day, you will start to notice you're a different person, you're evolving, and you cannot really pinpoint why I feel different. Why are things so falling in place so effortlessly and so easy? You're going to be questioning that. Why do I want more? Why am I so anxious to do a podcast? Why do I want to stand on a stage and speak? You see what I mean? But all of a sudden, it's the meditation that ground you to the point. Why do I want to lose that 20 pounds? Why do I feel it would be to my benefit to be 20 pounds lighter? All of that.
Woo! You just gave me goosebumps, Tessa.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Rosie.
because you can't manifestation without, like, you need action to keep it going, to keep it rolling. And also the talk about the meditation, because this summer I did a 10-day Vipassana retreat. So no phones, no talking, no eye contact, no you kind of live like a Buddhist monk. If you're a new student, 5 o'clock you get only fruit and tea. And if you're an old student, you can't, there's no fruit, just tea only. So you stop eating at 12. But it is the practice of sitting down and focusing your breath through your breath, the in breath and out breath. And you do that for like a couple of days straight. And you realize that in the beginning, I was so frustrated because I could not concentrate on my breath. I kept going to think about, the thoughts. It's real quick. If you just sit down and try to focus on your breath, within 10, 20 seconds, you'll be thinking about something else.
Even
So
10, 20 seconds, 2 seconds later.
yeah, so it's a practice of going back to your breath, going back to the breath. And then after, like, because it was a meditation boot camp. So it's like a training. And then I think the third or fourth day you focus on the in body, you're in your body. And also clear channel is that when you go in and observe from your top of your head all the way down to your feet, and you'll feel, can you feel every sensation in your body, in your eyes, your arms? Sometimes people can't feel their heart or something, and that's like a sign of like, what is there?
Yeah.
What is stagnant and blocking you from this feeling of your heart? So doing a body scan every day of your body to see where is it in your body that's feel like there's no sensation, there's numbness, or you feel hard.
Yeah, because one of the things I do when I lie down at night to sleep, I sleep on my back. That's just me.
Yeah.
I scan my body. So if I have what people call pain, I call it sensation.
Mhm.
And I acknowledge, okay, I can feel the sensation in my back, in my neck. I can feel the sensation over here as I'm scanning, and I'm just doing it. I'm scanning. It's my sinuses. I can see the back of my eye. I
Mhm.
can go through my ear. I can see the channel from my sinus cavity all the way traveling down. I can see, I can look through my throat. I'm just checking things out. I come to my sternum. I come to my arm. I look at the discomfort I feel. I see it. I bring down the light and I let the light rest in the discomfort and go. And sometimes I do not get to my feet before I fall asleep. But that's consciousness.
Yeah.
It's consciousness. How does your body feel against your sheet? How does your head rest on that pillow? And you lower the lights. I have a red light in my room. It's not very bright. I'll put it on and then I'll just lie there and I'll scan everything, my fingers. I will rub my hands together to feel them, bring the heat back into there. And so you have to scan your body. But even when you're scanning, your mind might wander. And if you find your mind is next door, you have to bring it back. Where
Yes.
was okay, I was scanning at my throat, my neck, and when you come across a pain, rest there. Rest and feel that sensation. Acknowledge the sensation. Do not treat it harshly and say, oh, yeah, don't do that. Just say, okay, I hear you. I feel you. I understand you.
Yeah. And a lot of people, when they feel the uncomfortableness, they leave.
Yeah.
They don't want to feel it. They leave. So
Believe, they
like,
jump
you have
out.
to acknowledge it. Yeah.
You have to acknowledge it is happening in you. It's even when it's if we're not conscious to go down a stair, we'll fall. If we're not conscious that we should not be holding the rail to go up the stair, we'll be straining our body. But if we're conscious that we should to go, we're helping our body. So if you practice it at night before you fall asleep, then during the day you'll be conscious that hey, these shoes, if you leave it there, you're going to trip on it. This box, if you leave it there, this plastic on the floor, that's dangerous. Pick it up. So, but that can be developed through meditation.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
Meditation clears your mind.
Yeah. So, if someone is if someone is listening today and feels like they're struggling in all five pillars, what is one step they can take to start shifting their energy towards prosperity?
Okay, I'm going to start with you
Okay.
because your question to me, listen to what you said. If somebody is listening to us today and they are struggling in one of their pillars, what should they do? Number one, you never, ever, ever use that word struggle.
Okay.
Okay, look at how the word is spelled. Snake, more snake, more snake, more snake. G-G-L-E. You'll never come out of that trap.
Mm,
The word is just twisting. You're stuck in it. A struggle does not tell you you will win. But if you say, if they're challenged with one of the pillars, the word challenge means you can win. In the old days, when two men were fighting and they went out in the morning, they say, I challenge you to a duel. So somebody's going to win.
Yeah.
So your word is important. So if someone come to me and they say that, I stop them right there. No. And I explain to them, look at the word struggle. There is no way out of it. Challenge is wide. The sea is open. You have them, but it's not twisted like struggle. Too many. Look at the G. You know what I mean? Look at the S. So that's different. So if they're challenged with one of the pillars and they happen to be fortunate enough to have spent enough time within themselves to know which one of the pillars, I ask them to write about the pillar. Right. What about the pillar that you find that you are challenged with? And they'll tell me, well, for example, as soon as somebody says something, I want to get it done. I do not, I tell people off instantly. And I go, okay, so now that you know that you're triggered by people's behavior or their words towards you, what can you do? I don't know, I just get really mad. So what is it that angers you about that person or what they say? Can you breathe when they're speaking? Take the time. Before you answer, count to 10 or don't count to 10. But before you answer, repeat what they said to you, not harshly. Repeat the exact question or the statement they made. So they said, well, you know what I don't like about you is that you're always rushing to get things done. Okay. Or they're criticizing you, or they might just like that. Whatever it is that the person has said to annoy you, repeat it to them by not in a harsh way, but say, so now you're telling me you do not like when I do this. So they'll say, yeah, I really don't like it. And so they might say to you, I would prefer if you didn't shout when I'm talking to you, for example. So then you can say, okay, and you can address it because you have a challenge on this particular pillar of emotion. So you're learning now how to wait and calm down. Because when you ask the question, you cannot answer and ask the question at the same time. So when you ask them or repeat what they said, that gives you time to formulate your answer better. So you start to work a little bit. So that's emotion, mental. So you notice you're not able to remember things. So you want to know what it is that stresses you to the point that you're completely forgetting what you want to do. What can you do to help yourself? Write it down. Make a list of the things you want to accomplish. You go to the doctor and the whole idea of getting to the doctor is really too much for you. Write what the questions you want to ask. So what is the thing that you're fighting with or challenged with? You need to find out, open it. What can I do to fix it? The mechanic can hear the noise, but he has to take the car apart or put it to get it what do you call it, diagnostic or whatever they do to the cars. So you do the same thing with that pillar. So if it is you're afraid of God, you would let people abuse you because you want to go to heaven. So you have to say, well, why do I have to do this to get to heaven? Why am I letting that person slap me and tell me they love me? Why am I letting these people do things from me, take stuff from me? Why? You have to find out what it is that is telling me or allowing me to feel like they can do it to me. And I say, why am I afraid of money? And I always spend all my money. And then you say, you know what? Because they said rich people will not go to heaven. So you have to find out what it is that is causing that pillar of yours to be weak. Physically, I am not able to do things. I cannot get out of the chair. Well, are you eating too much? Are you sitting in that chair for too long? You see what I mean? You have to open that pillar and see what is wrong here. And one at a time. Don't try to fix every pillar at the same time.
Mm.
Take the one you cherish the most and you would like to see better on. So it could be emotional eating, because when you were young, they said to clean your plate, and you're still cleaning your plate. You're hearing that you're wasting the food. It costs us money. So eat everything on your plate, and you're still doing it as an adult.
Mm.
So, so you're challenged with one of the pillars. You have to find out, what is my challenge here and how can I fix this?
And and your words are so important. Instead of using struggling or struggle, challenge, challenging, and changes.
Challenge.
Yes.
It empowers you.
Yeah.
Struggle makes you feel like you're defeated. A challenge makes you feel like, I can fix this somehow,
Yes. I
something
can
can.
overcome this. I can do this. I can do it. I love that, Tessa. And thank you so much for all your wisdom and advice of the five pillars. And now we're going to do something different called the lightning round. So it's I'm going to ask you a question, and then I got a few questions to ask you, and then let's just have a little fun here. All right. What's one word you live by?
Believe.
Believe. Mm. A book that changed your life.
Um, the book of wisdom, Proverbs, it's a book of Proverbs in the Bible. It changed my life.
Okay, morning ritual you never skip.
Exercise and meditation, visualization and reading.
Love that. Love that. A,
Gratitude.
a favorite meal to cook or share with your loved ones.
Um, I love I love cooking a lot, so it doesn't matter, but I love baking bread. I love making bread.
Ooh, do you make sourdough bread or regular bread?
I make all sorts of bread, sourdough, regular bread, and serve it with with butter while it's hot, and cheese on top of it. And I love cooking, so I'll cook anything. But bread is my favorite for the family because they all love it.
Yeah. Oh, I've been into sourdough bread, so I understand that. A p-
Sourdough bread. There's a lady who comes on my lives, Nancy, and she makes this big, round sourdough bread. And when I see it, all I want is a big slab of butter.
yeah. Yes. Okay, a place in the world that makes you feel most alive.
My garden.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, one song that instantly lifts your mood.
Um, You Are the Best by Tina Turner.
You Are the Best by Tina Turner. You guys check that one out.
You Are
Who
the Best.
who inspires you the most right now?
Who inspires me the most right now? The world inspires me right now, is because there's so many things happening in the world right now, and so many people need to believe in themselves and to realize that they are the best. You see, so my song, You Are the Best, better than all the rest. You are the best. And not to be ashamed of that, and to believe in yourself, and to use. So the world inspires me right now to put more of me into the world. I wish I could just saturate it with belief and love. And I have an exercise I do every morning. I just, before I do my gratitude, I sit and I look out, just look at a wall or anywhere. Right now I can do it, and I see love, the word love puffed up in pink or blue. Love, joy, faith, belief, forgiveness, thankfulness, compassion, patience, kindness, laughter, happiness, gratitude, and appreciation. And it just goes, and it goes all over the world. I do
Mm.
that every morning. I send it out there and I just say, just go.
Ooh,
And so
beautiful.
that's something I do every day, twice a day.
Twice a day.
Yeah, I do it when I do my morning routine. That's part of my morning routine. And when I do my nighttime practices, that's part of my nighttime practices. I
Yeah.
send that those words and I see them floating and touching hearts and minds and kissing people and tickling them and because the world inspires me to do better. The world actually inspires. What is the entire globe inspires me to do better.
Mm, I love.
Because all I want is each every day I can enlighten, educate, and encourage somebody to do better than yesterday, one person at a time. I feel great.
And you're doing this right now on this episode here. Okay, next question. A simple daily habit that keeps you grounded.
That's a 10-minute break after completing something. So after the morning lessons, I sit for 10 minutes, no device, nothing, water, and I time myself for 10 minutes and I just sit. And I let my mind wander. I do not stop it. I do not listen to the radio, nothing. It's just me and my body and some water for 10 minutes. So after I do this, I will fill the glass of water and I'll go sit. And I'll maybe just sit outside. It's nice and warm and just savor the day, savor the moment, that those 10 minutes. And then I am able to do something else and do it well, do it really well.
I love that. Okay, if you can leave the listeners with one affirmation for prosperity, what would it be?
One affirmation for prosperity. Whatever I desire, I already have the tools to acquire it. So if prosperity, they want something, they desire something. So whatever it is I desire, you can choose what you desire. I desire $10,000. I have the tools to achieve it. You have to believe you can do it. So the inspiration, the affirmation is to believe I can take the steps to do it. Whatever I desire, I already have the tools to do it. So the carpenter has all his tools. He has his plane, the nails, the hammer, the chisel, and he wants to build something. He has his tools. You want to build prosperity? You have to believe you can do it. You have the tool. It's in you. You do not have to go look for it outside, but you have to go and find it inside. So, in a turbulent world like we have right now, our most important thing for us to do is to not allow what is happening outside of us affect what is going on inside of us. And that is a challenge.
That really is
Mhm.
controlling what's in here.
Yeah, and because that is what really matters. So if you're looking to gain prosperity, you have to believe you already have the tools to do it. The most challenging part of it is not picking it up and doing it, or doing it and stopping and say it didn't work after a year. It didn't work after 3 years. And somebody will say, well, you've been doing it all that time and it's not working. But it doesn't matter. You believe you will do it. So you keep going on until you get better. All of that is sharpening your tools. You sharpen your axe by practicing to do what it is you desire to do. So when you get the opportunity, you can cut down that tree in a moment.
Woo, I love that. Sharpen your axe.
That's what we
Yeah.
do. Sharpen your axe every day. You get up and you get your axe going. I need my axe really sharp. So when I get to that tree, I can just cut it down. Because
Yes.
I know what I mean. Yeah, one shot.
Yep.
You
I love
cannot cut
that.
with a dull axe. You cannot, if you do not do the job, if you do not do the work, you won't get the result.
Yeah. And that's a
Mhm.
little bit like meditation. I'm referring back to meditation again.
Mhm.
When you sit down every day, you're sharpening the mind. You're
Sharpening the
sharpening the
mind.
act, you're sharpening the mind. So I loved this whole conversation, Tessa. Where can people find you at?
Well, they can find me on YouTube, The Five Pillars of Prosperity, Tessa-Marie Shillingford, at the Tessa-Marie on Instagram, TikTok. My name is unique, so you put Tessa-Marie Shillingford, you can get me. I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on YouTube. So far, I don't know what else. I'm missing one, I think, but I haven't gotten there yet. And
You
you can also send me a DM, an email, it's all out there, and I'll be happy to help you. I had the conversation at today was on relationship for the morning blessing, and I said that you cannot put 50% in a relationship, no matter what type of relationship, is not enough. Everybody has to put 100% in the relationship. And I got a note from a lady on TikTok that said to me, I am browbeaten by my husband that I have to he wants me to just do whatever he says without me having any input. So there's people that think that they're in control of everybody's behavior, and you really shouldn't. In a relationship, we both have to come together and give our maximum. And our relationship with ourselves, if we cannot give 100% to ourselves, there's no way we can put 100% in our conversation.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, I love that. You can't give what you don't have.
No, you can't. And you have to, I always say, I live a privileged life. And I don't mean assets or money. I don't mean that. I mean, I have the privilege to love and take care of me well. I'm privileged I give myself the privilege to nurture me, to take care of me, to keep myself healthy, to do things that I love, that brings me joy, that brings me contentment and fulfillment. It's a privilege. And therefore, if I can do that for me, then I can come to you and I can work with you together, and we can bring our relationship to a relationship of privilege and love.
Mm.
Because I'm doing it already and you're doing it already. So when we get together, it's like the thing they go dynamite. So that's what happens.
Oh my God. Yes. Dynamite, firecrackers, just all the
Whatever you want
energy
to
is
call it.
just
Yeah, because you see, we are the story is you make me talk so much, Rosie. The man was reading a newspaper and his son was bothering him. And he had read that part and he saw there was a globe in the newspaper. So he ripped that page off, he tore it in pieces, and he gave it to his son to put together so he could continue reading the newspaper in peace. The son was completed putting the globe back together so quickly. He said, Dad, I'm done. How could you be done so quickly? He said, Dad, on the other side of the globe was a man. And the moment I the man together, the world was okay.
Mm.
So when you are put together, the world is okay. You do not have to put anybody down to make you feel okay. So that's why it has to start with us. Each of us take care of putting ourselves together. Because when we are together, will not find any fault with the world because we put ourselves together and the world is okay.
yes. And it brings back to the quote of if you want to change the world, change yourself.
Change yourself. Mahatma Gandhi said it. You become the change you desire. I told them the story of this lady whose husband insists on eating in front of the TV, and she didn't like it. She spoke to him. He still kept shuffling his food in his mouth and watching TV on the couch. So I said to her, well, what do you want to do? I want to eat at the table. I said, well, go eat at the table. Set the table for yourself. So the first time, the very first time she set the table, a little bouquet of flowers, her plate, her glass, her this, and she sat down. He came with his plate from the living room. Can I sit with you? So now they eat together. You become the change you want. So she was letting what was happening outside of her make her behave like him, eating on the couch, and she didn't like it. So when she decides to do what she wants, the change she's looking for, do it. You cannot tell him to eat on the table if you're sitting next to him, you're enabling him. So when she did that, her world was okay.
Whew. So true. And we lead by example. Thank you
Exactly.
again, Tessa, so much for coming on. And I'll leave all of Tessa's information down below and we'll talk again later.
Yeah,
So thank
thank
you
you.
guys.
Thank you so much, Ruth.